Righto, tell you there, champs, and the RTX 40 series has been announced. Wolf, there's some good news. There is some good news, but there's also some bad news. We're going to talk about that, the bad news pertaining to desktops, and we're going to talk about laptops. When are they going in laptops, and should you wait or should you buy now? So you already know Nvidia announced the 4090 and the 4080 last night. 4090 comes out October. The 4080 comes out in November. The big deal is, at least according to Nvidia, is the DLSS, the new DLSS, also ray tracing. That's what they were pushing. Now, I suspect they're pushing ray tracing in DLSS so much because I think Nvidia think that maybe in rasterized gaming, so normal gaming without DLSS or FSR and ray tracing, that maybe Nvidia might concede the lead to AMD in normal rasterized gaming. So they're pushing ray tracing in DLSS so much that you can say, hey, if you want that stuff, you have to buy Nvidia, because that's probably where AMD won't be able to compete. So we'll have to wait to see there. But the first bit of bad news is there's two 3080s. Like a 12 and a 16 gig, right? They're two different GPUs, different CUDA cores, different TGP. Very confusing, bad for consumers this is. So that's the first bit of bad news. The second bit of bad news is, oh my God, how much power do these things use? This is where AMD might be able to kill it, especially for laptops, because I expect AMD to use a lot less power. And this is the thing, right? Nvidia are really having to crank these GPUs up to get the performance out of them because AMD are knocking on that door. That means for desktop people, maybe you have to buy a new power supply, a 1.25 kilowatt power supply if you want a 3090, I would say. And then there's the new power connectors. We'll see what happens there with the partner boards. But that's a bit of bad news there too. And the price, the 3090, oh man, that's expensive. Now, don't be fooled by the, what was it, $899 or something, whatever, for 3080. So that looks like bad news. Availability, who knows? I mean, they probably won't be freely available until like next year, mid next year or something, or early next year. I think they'll be very hard to get this year. Now, when it comes to laptops, it seems to be bad news all around because we already have laptops pushed to the limit in terms of thermal capacity and power output. I mean, we have 175 watt RTX 3080 Ti's. The laptops aren't going to be able to produce more wattage, like maybe 10, 15 watts, but they're already at the limit as it is. And we're reaching about a maximum of about 260 watts with the 17-inch laptops. That's total package there. So firstly, when will they be available in laptops? They won't be this year. No way. If the RTX 3080 is coming out in November, we aren't getting any laptops with RTX 4000 series. At best, they'll be early next year, CES announced. I don't think they'll be in consumers' hands until somewhere between CES and Computex. So my best guess would be March, April at the earliest, but the reality is it's somewhere between CES and Computex, around that sort of timeline, which basically means first half of next year. But the bad news for laptops is how much power do these things draw? They're going to have to be completely different GPUs. I mean, Jared Tech does a lot of good videos, say, comparing a 3070, laptop compared to a desktop. And there's a delta there. But that delta has got to be getting bigger now because the amount of power these 4080s draw and even the 4090 is just astronomical, and the laptops won't be able to do that. So the delta is going to get bigger between the laptops and the desktops, which is a big problem because right now, the delta is there, but it's not that bad, right? So people are buying laptops. Laptops have been going gangbusters, especially, building a system has been so expensive. But that's flipped now. Building a desktop is super cheap. You can get secondhand graphics cards so cheap of the 30 series, and make no mistake, when it comes to the 40 series laptops, the 30 series desktops will still, perform as good as the 40 series laptops, like if you get a 3080 or a 3090 or something like that. And they will be cheaper. And as you know, laptop prices are going out of control. So I expect maybe the laptop market to contract or at least flatline. I don't think it's going to be growing with the price of laptops at the moment and the price of desktops being so low. Hopefully that's not true. But the delta between, gaming laptops and desktops is going to be enormous this series. And maybe AMD can do something about it with lower powered GPUs. And there's no way known that a laptop 4080 will be anywhere near the ballpark of a 4080 desktop, and I suspect a lot of cheap 3080s being around, you'll be able to put a desktop together that's even more powerful than a 40 series laptop. So one good thing is a new NVENC encoder, so we're going to have AV1 decoding and encoding, I believe. That's good. It's going to be interesting to see how much RAM the 4080 laptop has, but yeah, it's good to see new GPUs, but I think there's a lot of bad news mixed in there. Let me know what you think. Anyway, catch you in the next one, guys. Tally ho.